Hello, Outpost Packaging. This is Dylan Clendenning, and this is a walkthrough on using the prototype of the Commerce module for Drupal for a quote building tool for the Outpost Packaging website. So first what I'm going to do is go up to Store, and I'm just going to show you quickly adding a product. Now, because your product catalog is so large, when we actually go live with this, we're going to do an automatic import of the product catalog so that all these steps don't have to be done. But it is important to see this. So after clicking Store, I go to Products, and then when the next page loads up, I'm going to click on Add a Product. On the Add a Product screen, we're going to see the SKU number, the title, the price, catalog, and category, just like we have in the list provided. So I'll go to the list and I will grab a product I know I haven't grabbed yet, and just start pasting in the details. Now for the products right now, since we're not showing the prices live on the website and your customers are just going to be requesting quotes with the Commerce tool, we're going to set the price to 0. Now you'll notice here the catalog fields, which are the main catalog displays, which Outpost is going to be displaying, as well as the categories, which is more specific. So for the catalog, it's a multiple selection. So if I go back and look at the wax paper, excuse me, the Waxies product that I have, it's to show up in the food, meat catalogs. So I'll go back to creating the product. I'll click on food, and then I'll hold Control, click on meat, check that they're both selected, and then I'll go back, and it's to fall under the paper miscellaneous category. So I'll go back, and I'll select the paper miscellaneous, and I will save that product. And from there we can see a list of all the products that we have in the system so far. All their prices are set to 0. And what I can do now is I will go to the views. Views are how we control the filtering of the different products. So we have views which are based on the catalog types that we selected. So if I go to this food catalog view and go to edit, we can see that this is pulling in these fields, the title, the SKU number, and the category, as well as an add to cart button, which we're going to have to change to a request quote button, but again, this is just a prototype, onto the view, as well as we've got it set to pull up a product where the catalog equals food, and we've called it the food catalog. So if we go to this actual catalog now, that's not the actual catalog page. We'll see that from all those 12 products that we have in this sample prototype, it is only pulling in the 6 or 7 or 8 that we have tagged in the food catalog, and it's also displaying their categories. So for the Sure Grip matting, it's under maintenance supplies. For the serrated tomato steak knives, it's under knives, as well as these other knives, and the Waxies are under paper misc. Now all these categories are clickable, and it will take users to a list of all the items in that category. It does not yet, just because I have to build those 56 pages and I wanted to do this quick walkthrough first. It would be the same as the view that I just showed before. So now, if I wanted to order, let's say I wanted to order 2 of those Waxies, I would just go to, and I would go add to cart, which we will also change to request quote. And possibly I wanted to order maybe another item as well, maybe one of these wide Victrola cooking knives. I would go add to cart on that as well. And then this would be, again, not add to cart, but request a quote. And then you can say, view your quote. Or I guess it would say submit your quote more correctly. So there we go. Then I've got 2 of the waxies and 1 of the knives. We would change that to request quote button. And from there, it would go to a simple page just to add your contact info. And I suppose we should also add emails on here so that you can collect all the info you'd need to supply a quote based on the quantities requested to the customer. Now, if you only want current customers requesting quotes, that is something that we should establish now, because each of those current customers will need to be set up with an account with their username and password. That way they won't have to enter in all this address and billing information, if you will. And there we go. The quote has been requested. And we would also have to hide all the request a quote buttons from non-customers, unless you wanted non-customers and customers to access that quote request functionality, which we can discuss after you've viewed this video. So that's a quick overview of how the functionality will work. Being able to see in these catalogs a list like this, where they can add it to a quote, as well as go and check out the different categories. And it will also take a bit of development to get it into search, but step by step, we are there. So that is the basic walkthrough of the prototype, and we can discuss shortly and go over any questions.